How's it going, everybody? Time for another update. So as you can see, motor's back in the car, hopefully now for the last time. Got a lot of other little things done too that all just kind of add up to more time. I did go ahead and spend some time finishing off detailing the engine compartment some. Went ahead and painted a lot of it black there just to make it a little bit more uniform for some of the cut work and other painting that was done, but looks a lot better when it just has a good once over. Amazing how much grime builds up on a car after 10 or 15 years. So anyway, but also got the starter kind of up in place. Need to get another bolt here for it, but that looks to be lining up. It looks like there could be a little bit of interference there with the flywheel. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that there, but basically it it doesn't look like it's quite clearing, but this is the recommended setup. It's the IMI high torque starter that they say works with the package that or the GM unit, so we'll see about that. The accessories are also hung. Right now I went ahead and decided to make the video without the crossbars and stuff in there. This is going to get pretty cluttered pretty quick, so it's going to be difficult to see, but right now that bolt for the AC bracket is resting right on the crossbar, but that'll be lifted once we get the other braces in across the middle there. So far it looks like everything's lining up. Gonna have to tie e-brake lines out of the way, things like that. The water outlet up there from the front of the motor is gonna have to work its way down here to the big coolant pipes. Things like that. That'll all be worked out pretty well. But best news is lots of clearance now with the e-brake after having moved that back. So if you guys are going to do it, just recommend going ahead and doing that. Went ahead and, like I said, finished off this area a little bit more, lubed up those pipes. You are definitely going to have to shorten the e-brake cables. I'm going to show you that here in a minute, but probably by 1.5 inches at least, something along those lines. So also got the alternator hung in here. One thing I am concerned about is just I just got to figure out how the belts are all going to run. The GM factory setup's got the wiring for the cam sensor looped right there, and I'm going to need to get that out of the way for the belt. Hopefully I can get all that out of the way without having to pull the motor again, because I'm going to be pissed if I do, but it is what it is, so we'll figure all that out in here in a little while. Got the water pump just kind of set up in place, getting ready to hopefully start hooking up all the coolant lines, things like that, and then I'll get to finishing up the exhaust. Other than that, need to get some of the fuel system stuff hooked up and figured out. Otherwise, we're getting pretty good along there. I did actually get the clutch hooked up. That is all working properly, so yay. No worries there. Also, the shifter cables, I went ahead and got those hooked up and kind of run, along with the center console stuff in place. You can see, hopefully, the cables are just going to have to be run up like that, otherwise they're going to be run right down by the exhaust manifolds, which would not be good. So, you're going to lose a little bit there, or just have some obtrusive cables. There's a little bit of slack. I'm going to see what we can do to pull that out of the way, but otherwise, I went ahead and ran some of the wires, the cable for the gas pedal, all that, and I went ahead and that little group of wires you see hanging right there is just an additional group that I went ahead and ran just in case. Pick up ignition leads, gauges, things like that, and I just went ahead and ran that under the carpet here coming out the back so I could connect them right there in the center console area if I need to. Just a little group of 4 wires. I may end up needing to run more wires than that, but as long as as long as the seats aren't in, the carpet's pretty movable. You can just kind of lift the stuff up and run it through. Once everything's bolted down, center console, stuff like that, it's going to be much more of a pain, so try to plan in advance there if you can. Got a few of the other things hooked up, brake booster, things like that, but that's about it. One thing I wanted to mention about the starter down here is also that in order to get enough clearance, I did go ahead and have to lop off the oil sending unit. A bit of a shot we can get there, but basically I just took the sending unit there. GM's computer doesn't require it to run the motor, so I just went ahead and cut it down, ground it down, so that way I'd have enough clearance for that starter. I'm sure there's some other things I'm forgetting here, but for right now, that's where I'm at. And give me a shout if you've got any questions. So I appreciate y'all following. Take care.